I stand by everything I've ever said in life.
Oh, did you guys hear I got in a fight with the table?
No, did you
No,
win?
no, she did
No.
not.
Okay.
I got
It
beat up.
turned out our table was a mimic, and while I
It's
was
always mimics with me. Always.
while I was doing the session 0 for Kids on Brooms, she decided she was going to be continuing packing in the foreground or the background, and it's not as bad. That used to be all bright red.
Oh god, that looks bad.
But she decided she was going to
it's
turn
not
over
bad.
our incredibly heavy dining room table on her own.
They threw me into the door.
In the middle of discussing this, she's in the background of the camera with a bunch of people on an official Roll20 Spotlight stream. You know, they're like, oh, da 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 da. Then I hear, ah! I'll be right back. They're like, yeah, you need to go check on that. And
It was.
Oh, I'm glad you're okay.
me too,
I'm
because
fine.
I was gone for like 20 minutes administering helpful first aid, and it's just like, what did you do?
Well,
It was.
all right.
That was.
Failed to
humiliating.
post tweet. Oh, you suck. Oh, status is a duplicate. I'm not worried about that. I don't know if the fireworks are going to be loud, but
I haven't heard any from your end.
okay. Because I can hear them through my headphones, and those are noise cancelers. I'm just making sure everybody's cameras are situated before I take the away screen off.
For sure. No issues whatsoever.
Boop, boop. But hey, if anybody's interested in joining Diesel Dragon, you should let us know, because our fourth person decided they weren't coming. Boop. Here we are. Hi. I'm
Boop, boop,
significantly darker from this angle because the recess light is behind me now.
Oh, that's fun. Were you live and ready to go?
We are. I told you we were going live 2 minutes 30 seconds ago.
I just wanted to make sure that we're all like cameras are ready. We're off of the wait screen.
New
Excellent.
background. Who dis? It's our new house, Dido.
Yay!
This may not still be our final setup. We're trying to figure out how we want to set up our office, but this is the current plan to deal with our sound issue.
It is half a house.
Well,
This is what a setup means, to go beyond a setup.
Mhm.
Well, anyways, welcome back to Diesel Dragons. We're very happy to have you. Last time, the Resistance group was able to commandeer a loaded truck full of weaponry, and then intercept a prison convoy, and opening up the armored car that contained the prisoners. Looking inside, you saw 4 people, and brief description: an elf, 2 humans, and what is known as a Canis, essentially a very tall wolf person.
A good boy.
A good boy. The wolf person has a sort of a muzzle on him, probably to keep him from biting shit. But yeah, and that's where we left off, because Rin was actively falling asleep in his chair.
It's true. I'm a sleepy lad.
Yeah, you fell full asleep for about a minute there last time. It was funny. So we're gonna make sure we don't do that this time and keep going.
You fool. We've been moving. You think I'm awake now?
You just see a pillow slowly slide up behind Rin. I've already
Yeah.
got the chair set up.
You fool.
Okay.
You can't stop me. This isn't even my final sleep form.
Anyways, so yes, you have successfully liberated these 4 people. They are sort of looking at you from the back of the truck. What does the group do? Grigori, you're currently running down a hill.
He's going to get down to catch up to them and help them get the prisoners out of the truck.
Well, that depends, because you're quite a ways. So they can do some stuff before you get there. What does Selathil and Ton do? Well, you watch Dragonborn run down a hill.
Saelathil will approach the congregation and just say, "Congratulations. On behalf of the Frostal resistance movement, you have been liberated."
The Canis in the back sort of makes some grunting noises, and you realize that the muzzle is too small for him to speak. But the human, there's a human man wearing these a set of round glasses. Sort of raises his manacles to you and says, "Well, I'd rather be free of these before I consider myself truly liberated. So, if you would."
Did we find keys?
You did. You had to use keys to open up the armored truck. So yeah, you have a set of keys on you.
She'll say, just first things first, considering you are a prison transport,
Okay.
I just need your guarantee that you are not dangerous criminals and only those who were wrongly imprisoned by the Overdark Empire.
Well, I was an officer with the Foster military.
Do I recognize him?
You do not recognize him. It's a big military.
Yeah, but just officers, so...
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of what are known as Mustang officers, which are sort of soldiers that are drafted who just got promoted. So you probably you might not have been a part of the officer corps. It was just a good soldier and became like a field sergeant, something like that.
Gotcha.
So, and yeah, the military exploded in size when the war happened. So a lot of people you haven't met. He turns to the woman, the human woman, who says, "Name's Ashlyn. I am a tank operator." The elf, what is the elf's name? Let me pull up the name again. The elf says, "My name is Aelia. I'm a pilot." And then the big wolf man in the back, again, makes some grunting noises as he cannot... Yeah, Ashlyn Picard, no relation to Dido's characters, maybe subconsciously, but not an active thought. Yeah, the wolf guy just, again, grunts. He cannot speak right now. His muzzle's too tight.
What do you know of this one?
Well, from what I heard, he was a soldier with the Cognate, was captured.
I'm just looking to see where the Cognate is.
Yeah, it's the big country to the south.
Oh, okay, southwest.
Yeah, southwest, yeah. That country is the primary sort of cultural domination are the Wolf Canis. There are several types of Canis, but the Wolf Canis are sort of the heart and sort of the largest sort of ethnic group there.
Who was the person from last week that we met from the other continent, the far eastern one?
That was your contact, whose name I have somewhere in my notes. This will load. There we go.
I may have been sleepy, but I remembered important details. I was like, I know we met someone from across the continent.
Harper.
Or across the sea. Yeah, the Harper. And she was from Salatia? Or the...
Yeah, Salatia. Yeah, the Commonwealth.
Yep, see, I remember.
Which, used to own Fostral. It was sort of that country. What became the Commonwealth was the empire that owned Fostral before.
They're England. Got it.
Yeah, they're England. Yeah.
America, Freedom Day. All right.
Yeah, they're just sort of the Western power, Yeah, that's sort of but the fact that the Eastern, they're the Western power. Yeah. Excuse me. That they introduce themselves. The wolf guy seems he wants to get out of there. He looks pretty uncomfortable. His manacles are attached to his muscles, so his hands are really high up. He looks miserable. But they don't seem... These are POWs. They're not like...
They're not prisoners. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what she wanted to hear, is that they weren't common criminals being transported, and so she'll go ahead and start unlatching each of them.
I kind of have. Wait, no. Am I going to sneeze or not?
Oh, it's like a kitten.
I'm trying not to be loud. Oh God. Anyways, so yeah, you start unlocking all of them, and once you do, they all get out and they start to sort of stretch. They're dressed all in jumpsuits right now. The Canis you see, he's about as tall as Karzuk. Very, very tall people. And as they get out, the man who introduces himself as Gabriel, begins to sort of direct the other people, and they immediately the Canis runs over to the partially destroyed armored truck, roots around in the back and pulls out sort of an onboard like sort of cache of tools, and removes the machine gun from the top of it very quickly, very efficiently, as the tank operator begins to take the extra fuel and sort of any extra parts that are on the other car and move them over. It's kind of nice. Your group, there's only one soldier technically in your group, so it's kind of interesting to watch for experienced military personnel. Sort of like, all right, we're free, let's do some shit, and they immediately strip the other thing down as quick as they can, and begin to sort of move things over. What do you guys do? Grigori, you arrive at this point.
He's gonna size everybody up, make sure everyone's okay, since he was all the way up in his perch.
Yeah, everyone seems fine. I don't think there's any injuries because they kept rolling really bad, and fucking Tan cast that goddamn projectile protection spell.
Yeah.
That was a really clutch spell.
It drained most of my resources, but I figured that if there was ever a time. Tan probably went around to collect the bodies, liberate any useful gear they might have, and just set them up in a more respectable position, because she's a doctor, not a I'm gonna kill everything.
Sure. Yeah, you go through the bodies. If when looking through their pockets, you could find some money if you're going to take their money.
It's doing them no good.
Sure. You will find probably collectively around $30, I'll say, give or take.
That's operations.
Sure thing. And then one of them, there's an issue. One of the bodies was shot literally in half with a machine gun.
I cast mending. It's an object now, right?
Yeah, technically, but that's not.
I don't have mending.
Okay.
Gori's gonna have some questions if you're reforming a corpse, knowing that there's nothing else you can do with it.
Yeah, it's messy.
I gotta start doing some necromancy stuff.
Oh no.
Don't do blood magic. Anyways.
It's not blood magic. Healing is necromancy. Get over it.
Anyways, there's one body that is in half. It's just like a pool of blood. It smells terrible. It ripped the abdomen in half. It's not pleasant, but you could find, I think it was 5 rifles and 5 pistols. So you can add those as well. Take their boots and their helmets if you wish to as well, but that's up to you.
5 rifles. Are these rifles the submachine gun ones?
No, they're not the other machine guns. They're the Kar 98s, I believe, is what we're using.
Are the pistols the same as the pistols we have?
Yes, those same type pistols. standard gear for a soldier. You also find some grenades, but as you collect the grenades, the Canis comes over and takes some, and begins to rig the other armored truck to explode using them. And he's actually going to roll a skill for that.
And we are down 1 tank rocket.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you have
used
one.
one.
Alright.
Yeah.
Keeping track of shit.
Yeah.
Of shit.
So yeah, you watch as this Canis pretty quickly and efficiently takes these grenades and strings them up. And he all he has to do is instead he takes string and like ties all the pins together. You just pull them and you guys can run away essentially, and they'll explode. If any of you talk to him, you learn that he's a combat engineer. So blowing things up is his specialty.
Yes.
So, is there anything you want to do here before you guys leave, or as sort of these soldiers sort of get ready? The tank operator gets in the front seat, and this armored truck kind of like stands up on its weird legs and then spins and split in place.
Well, he certainly seems to know what he's doing.
That is a she.
The wolf? The Canis?
The Canis is the combat engineer. Ashlyn is a tank operator.
Yeah, I was talking about the one who was dismantling everything.
Alright.
Yes, that is the Canis. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ashlyn is the tanker.
Tank operator. Armored fighting vehicle crewman, I think is the technical term. I think I got that wrong actually, but yes, tank operator. The elf, Ayla, who for the audience has very dark skin. A lot of elves, they're from an island, which is a very hot climate. A lot of jungles and sort of savanna. They have very dark skin. She's a pilot, and then the other human, the officer, and then Canis. Yeah, the combat engineer.
What was the officer in the Canis' name?
The officer's name, he introduces himself as Gabriel Sawyer, and the Canis' name is Ligdan Suke. Spelled Ligdansuke.
L-I-G?
Ligdan. Ligdan. It's Mongolian.
Ligdan what?
So Ligdan space, his last name is Suke, S-U-K-E. Here, I'll post the names in the Roll20 chat so you guys can everyone can see them. Yeah, and there you go. So yeah, they strip down the things that they need, and they get everything set up. And Sawyer comes up to you and says, "Well, I think there's nothing else to do here. I assume you have some place to return to."
We have somewhere where we can lay low for a while, and you can decide if you wish to continue on your own or join an operation to help liberate Fostral.
Well, I think we're all leaning towards yes, but let's get out of here, get some food, get out of these fucking jumpsuits, and lay low for a while.
We didn't think about it beforehand, but can we do a flashback of getting them some clothes now instead of bringing them into the city in prison garbs?
I will let you spend a penny to have done that.
I'll do that. Because
Yeah.
that's on me. Because, yeah, it's like, that is a fucking valid point. It's like...
Take the uniforms from the dead.
They're covered in blood.
And bullets.
And bullet holes.
Take
yeah.
the bullets, too.
And one of them is like a 7-foot tall wolf man.
Yeah. And one of the people was sawed in half with a
Yep.
saw.
That's perfect. The Wolfman can get the shirt that's been blown in half, one for each arm.
One half
It's just
for
an
each
open
side.
vest.
It wasn't this way. It was this way. It was the easy way to get cut in half.
Look,
Just kind
it's
of diagonal,
fine.
kind of up across the chest.
Yeah.
He's edgy. He likes his shirts diagonal.
He was Destructo Disc, not Trunk Sworded. There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There we go. Wow. Okay. Fucking
Grigori
Dragon Ball,
probably-
Dragon Ball Z reference is cool.
Let's say Grigori probably he probably knows Canis people and how big they are. He's probably got something along the line of like Dragonborn size outfit.
Yeah, you could probably get him some clothes. You actually know the Canis and the Dragonborn have long sort of had a rivalry. There's been multiple wars throughout history between the two of you.
But it's a sexy rivalry.
But ever since the war, a lot of that's been like, yeah, let's deal with each other later. Let's deal with the invasion first. So there's sort of like a begrudging sort of camaraderie between the two countries right now. But yeah, you could have brought some. If you spent a penny, you brought some clothing. You don't have a lot. You sort of have a large trench coat that the Canis throws on because you weren't expecting sort of a creature of that size, and sort of uniquer body shape. Their legs are definitely shaped differently. But he throws a big coat on. He does the full Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles outfit, like fedora and trench coat. So he will be invisible forever now. Because that's how that works.
That's how that works, yeah.
That's how that works. Throw on a hat and a trench coat, and no one can see you're a giant wolf or a turtle. But yeah, so you all get back into the armored truck, the one that you didn't shoot a rocket at, and it goes a bit away before Lignan pulls all the pins in the grenade. And then just sort of leaps out of the way and dives into one of your little foxholes you dug, as it is scrapped. There's an explosion. He stuck like the grenades inside the engine to like fuck up the driving part of it, and then he runs and climbs in the back of the truck. You all realize that you probably won't have to ditch the truck before you get back to the town because, like, probably not the smartest to have, you guys non-military personnel driving in an armored vehicle back into the city. But you guys can ditch the truck a little bit of ways, and can enter in on foot, as long as you're careful.
If the plan is to ditch the truck, what truck are we ditching?
It is an armored truck.
What vehicle did we take to get out here, if any?
We took an APC, an armored personnel carrier, because we stole it from we took the truck we stole.
Right? Oh yeah, we're taking truck. You guys should drive both back. So yeah, you can. Well, the truck you stole,
we had parked in the
bad part kind of gets stripped down for parts.
Yeah.
So, if you guys could have walked out there,
wait, no, we didn't take anything out because we walked out and set the ambush.
Yeah.
You walked out and set the ambush.
So if that's the case, then Ton's probably gonna be like, "How adverse are you to a little bit of a hike? I don't think having a vehicle that was just taken from a convoy brought closer to town is a good idea. It may make any investigation lead them straight back into high alert into town."
Sawyer, who's in the back with you, says, well, they're going to know that the convoy does not arrive at the place it's going. What do you think we should do with it? One of us could take it back out further and dump it further away that drops us off, or we could try to hide it.
If they find a vehicle that was part of the convoy, then I think that it is, if they find it closer to town, and they go looking for the convoy and find that one was taken back towards town, wouldn't that lead any investigation back to escapees being still in the area.
Right. Again, one of us could take it out further. Dump it somewhere else. It'll take a while for them to get back, but what do you think we should do? This is your operation.
It would be best to do that. They would think you went and escaped out in that direction rather than came back to the city.
Do any of us have a reason to be out a bit late?
Right.
I can handle it if nobody else will, but there's curfew.
Some of us are allowed to be out past the curfew. On official business.
Fair enough.
Okay, all right. The elf speaks up and says, I would do it, but I don't think that it's a good idea for one of the prisoners to be out. Oh. Sorry, I guess? She kind of shrugs. Oh.
Are you hearing the battle in the distance now?
Sorry, I got disconnected. What I missed?
Nothing. Literally nothing. I went, oh, and we waited for you to come back.
Oh. You said oh when the fireworks went off too, so I wasn't sure what you were ohing about.
No, that was Shay, the spirit. But yeah, so yeah, you guys can do that. You get dropped off a little. It's kind of outside of sort of further out in the town, so that people can't notice you. And then Rin, you'll take the truck further out and put it somewhere to sort of. All right, sure thing. Absolutely. So yeah, everyone gets out. I will need Khan and Grigori to roll stealth. So that because you guys are trying to sneak a bunch of people into the city.
Yeehaw.
Let me see. I don't know how much it will help, but I will spend what few power points I have to do Conceal Arcana.
Well, what does it do before you cast it?
What? I can hide any magical auras that
Cool.
that we might be giving off.
Yeah, you could do. You're not quite sure what help it would do, but you're like stealth. You use Conceal Arcana.
Yeah. In case they have any walking magic
Sure.
control.
Absolutely, sure thing. You do that. You still have to roll stealth.
Yeah, 4.
That is a success. Okay. That is at least two successes. Yeah, you begin to lead them through the city. You watch as Ligdon sort of like keeps dipping into like alleyways because he's really big, and also not a lot of Canis are in the city. A lot of them were sort of fled when the Empire got there because they're still at war with the Cognate, and they're like, it's probably not the best time to be in the city. So he stands out a little bit. But you do return to your little hideout without too much issue. Some soldiers do stop all of you, but Ligdon is sort of away from the group, and you just seem like a group of people walking down the street. You don't seem too out of the ordinary. But yeah, you eventually return to the bar. You head downstairs, and everyone, Jean-Pierre and Karzag are a little rattled. This is the first time they've ever been in a combat situation. They both killed someone, so they're a little quieter than usual, a little more subdued. But the soldiers seem very happy, and there are some some bottles of wine or something like that from the bar that you brought downstairs, and they open them up and begin to enjoy their freedom. Silithil, you go for a bit of a drive. These vehicles are not used to the controls. It's weird having like complete directional control over a vehicle. You've driven a car before, which is like forward or backwards and you can turn.
Mhm.
This thing, like, you can like shift the steering wheel back and forth and the entire thing will move that way. So it's very strange. It's, you have to turn and then the thing turns like that and then push forward. It's very strange to control one of these. It takes you a little bit of time, but so long as you're not doing anything like not in a chase, you'll be able to move it in one direction pretty effectively. But you take it out for a while. You drive for about, I'll say, an hour, 2 hours, in the direction. Where actually would you like to sort of start pointing the truck away? Do you want to point it towards like the coast up north? Do you want to start point it towards the mountains? Do we want to head like west or east? Like what direction would?
Can I set it to just cruise until it hits the water up north?
You can point it northward and set it. It might not hit the ocean, but it'll just keep going that direction until
set it on that trajectory until it gets there or bust.
Sure thing. You make it go forward, and this thing is a large, powerful machine. So there's a bit of a turn in the road, and it keeps going off the road, and it's fine, and knocks down some trees. So it's going to make a pretty visual trail away from the city.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, that's good. And you begin your walk back. It's kind of nice being outside of the city. There wasn't a lot of combat this far west. Sort of everything west of the capital never saw any combat actually, because when they reached the capital, that's when the country surrendered. So there's no big like craters that have started to like grow in again. There's no like, you don't see like the old fortification lines. It's kind of nice to be able to walk through a pretty idyllic countryside back home. Sort of lets you forget about the war for a little while. But you return home eventually. Do you go to your house or do you go to the hideout?
I'm going to the hideout.
Sure thing. You go back to the hideout, and once you're there, I'm not sure about the PCs. It's up to you guys. But the soldiers and your two friends are now drunk.
Yeah, it checks out.
Yeah.
Ton would just be checking on their health idly.
Sure. They seem a little skinny. That's the first thing you notice. That they all seem a little skinny. They're not like. Just they haven't been fed as good as they probably should have. They were not at risk of being starved, but they're not.
Definitely malnourished.
Yeah, they're malnourished, not starving. First thing you notice. Beyond that, they show signs of pretty intense physical labor, which is normal. A lot of prisoners are used for a lot of prison labor camps here.
Mm-hmm.
But they are happily drinking. Your landlord, the landlord, the owner of the bar, brings down some food for you guys, and they're quite happy to eat. Sailthil, once you arrive, you see Ligdan and Karzug arm wrestling, and Karzug. You guys know that Karzug has won everyone before that because she's just a massive person. And Ligdan is determined to prove his strength against an orc, and is failing miserably. What is her name again? Elia is drunkenly singing in Elvish, just sort of like in a chair. She has a bottle of wine on her chest, and she's just happily singing quite loudly, and I'm just happily singing some old Elder songs. And then Gabriel is listening to the music, while Ashlyn is very interested in the arm wrestling contest, and she's watching very intently. What are Tan and Grigori doing? Speaking of them,
Grigori's probably just enjoying a drink,
Sure.
just snacking on some food. He's letting them eat in as much as they need. Just happy that pretty much everything went better than he thought it would. He figured someone would be really injured, or just something via an explosion or the gunfight. So the fact that pretty much everyone turned out just fine is really good.
excellent. Tan?
This is next day or same evening?
This is the night of. Yeah.
Night of. She's probably looking really tired, but also of that mindset of like, okay, he succeeded, so what's next? So she's probably kind of like staring at the map again, and probably in need of sleep after this day,
True thing.
and after draining so much of her magic.
Sure. Yeah. You're very tired. You did use a lot of power today. So though you turn to this scene of everyone, sort of enjoying a little bit of revelry.
Took no time in making yourselves at home. That's good.
Elia looks up and says, "We have been trapped in prison for, myself, 4 months?" And she kind of looks at everyone else. They've all been in prison. Between that, like, I think the one that's been in prison the longest, which is Gabriel, has been in there for about 8 months. So they're all very happy to be out.
Well, good. Since you are all trained soldiers, I feel it's only natural to offer you a position going forward within this resistance. However, you are escaped convicts, so expect to stay hidden for some time. The city might still be on high alert, even if we manage to detract attention from the area.
Lignan, after losing yet another arm wrestling competition, stands up and says, "So like battle, stay below trench."
Yeah, exactly. For now, the trench is going to be this bar, and just,
Pretty good trench.
there have been worse. I would just get comfortable for now.
They all seem to seem happy to be out of prison. So they're like, "That's fine. We could just hang out in the base of a bar, and like not have
That's
to
a
fucking
huge step up.
yeah. They don't have to fucking labor every day. It's great."
Oh, did
So
I
you
not?
guys-
Did I not tell them they're going to be tunneling their way from the bar to the Overdark HQ so that we can blow it up?
I mean,
They start
Give them a week.
immediate. They
Give them
start
a week.
immediately.
give them a week, they'll probably do it. So yeah, you inform them that they're going to have to stay hidden, which they're okay with for now. But they all seem, yeah, they just enjoy their freedom. They don't think about like tomorrow. There's like, let's just drink, get some food, for now. And so we're gonna do a bit of a skip ahead forward as everyone's. I assume the group will sort of lay low for a while as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just in case. So anything we've going to talk to any of the prisoners, interrupt me. You ask them any questions you want.
How fast can the engineer and the pilot make us a mech suit?
A mech suit.
Yeah, what are those? What are those cool walkers that we talked about? You just gave me everything I need. Get it done.
The mechs aren't really suits. They're sort of they're kind of multi-person suits. Or can but to make one, that's going to take for 2 people to make one. It's going to take a while.
I believe in them.
And by pilot, I mean like she was a pilot. She was shot down. Like she had an airplane. You learn that she was shot down over this northern range here on the map. She noticed the singing range. She was shot down over that and crashed into Overdark territory. But if you want to steal one, then you can get yourself a suit. You get one of the taller one in the later tanks. Anyways,
we know our next mission now.
I do plan to steal one. Yes.
Oh, I'm so ready for you guys to steal one. It's going to be ridiculous. But over as time goes on, and you all sort of lay low and sort of keep your heads down.
I know one thing Tom would do. Sorry to interrupt.
No, interrupt me all you want.
Tom's going to keep an eye out on. Wait, no, sorry. You already told us if we put a bid in of $1,000, we can get the place. Okay. We are currently at 485.
So we need to do something to get another $515.
Yeah, you know, $600. That's an option. I will say, actually, thank you for talking to me and let me think. The characters you've gotten are, again, a pilot, tank operator, a combat engineer, and an officer. Now, mechanically, what this means is that you can utilize their skills wherever you want. Pilot may seem like a little unuseful, but they're an expert navigator. So if you need any sort of travel logistics, you've got someone who's good at that. So you can utilize their skills however you wish, as they all do join. Again, let's join. They are very happy to help. With the officer, this is sort of the most important thing. He can lead another team to do stuff while you are doing other things. So he can coordinate the other anyone you assign to him to do other jobs for you, and so you can do that as well. So you guys don't have to be a part of every single operation you do. You can assign other followers to any person who has an officer sort of skill.
Okay, and I think and one more mechanical question, just with everything that's been going on, I haven't been keeping up.
Sure.
Where are we at with experience?
Currently, you should have 8 experience.
Right. I was asking, did I ask before where we can make a note of that, or does this just not have it?
It should have. Let me look at the one I have pulled up.
It's under where your name is, race, gender, and then it'll say advance rank, and then
Advance rank. It should have a thing here. That was weird, actually. Now that
I can just put it in notes.
Yeah, put in notes for now. I'll try to. I thought there was an experience thing in here. But yes, no, you're at 8 right now. It should be.
Also, lore question: who is Martel?
Martel is the name of your the hospital you work at. Martel is an angel. Martel is the name of a very powerful angel.
Gotcha.
In D&D parlance, Martel would be a Solar.
Cool. There's only like a dozen of them.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of them. The angel's sort of mercy and healing. As the next couple of days continue on, over the radio, you hear that the city has gone into full martial law, as there has been a convoy that has been attacked. This is probably a region-wide thing. Salafil, you hear from your new captain, who is a drow, that there will be a search of the city. You learn that they don't think they're in the city still. So good on that truck thing, by the way. They found the truck somewhere in the north. They apparently went off road, and so they're just sort of the whole region is sort of locking down to sort of limit travel while they search for these escaped prisoners. You do see posters go up of the prisoners. You see all their faces. You see a long list of crimes. Like 6 of them are like this. They're all like some variation of like for Gabriel and Ashland, since they were technically citizens. Theirs is like there's like 3-4 different types of treason they've committed. Ligdon and Ayla have been accused of terrorism. There's a bunch of stuff. And there's also a lookout for unknown accomplices. An unknown number of accomplices.
There's an entire army of them. Oh no.
And you do see that woman that you had met before, or you had met, stomping around the precinct more often. That one drow secret police officer. And actually, this is actually where we're going to go over to Grigori briefly, actually.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Because before all of this,
yeah.
before all of this, the people, the workers at your place of business, were being interviewed, and you were sort of lower on the list. You were lower on the list just because you weren't on the schedule. You took someone else's shift, so they didn't.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to. Technically, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, he was told they'd be interviewing him eventually.
Eventually, yes. And eventually it comes to sort of your group. They're taking a group of people. There's about 5 of you. You've talked to some of these guys before. And you sort of get a head down to sort of one of the government buildings. These large sort of like kind of Greco-esque like buildings. And you're sat down in a room, all 5 of you. And there's an armed guard there, and you sort of wait for about an hour, and then this woman opens the door and takes one of the people in, takes one of the people away, and then you wait for about 40 minutes, and that person leaves that room, then exits through the sort of like one door inside, comes back out from the interview room and leaves. The next person goes in, wait 40 minutes. 10 more minutes after that, 10 minutes, an hour since they left, and they don't return, and she opens the door and then calls the next person in, and then they don't come back, and they call the next person, and they do come back, and they leave the other way. And so the people that you're called with, some of them don't come back, some of them do, and eventually it's your turn. You're called in by name, get brought into a small room, get sat down in a wooden chair without armrests, and across the table is this woman, dressed very efficiently, very properly in like full military regalia. Doesn't look like she's been in a room for several hours, in a small room several hours. Doesn't seem like overheated. Seems very composed. She sort of has her arms on the table as she sits down. She kind of looks at you, reaches into her coat, and pulls out a small metal case, opens it up, takes out a cigarette, kind of looks at you for a second and says, "Do you smoke or no?"
No, but thank you for offering.
She closes it, lights a cigarette, and takes a drag and puts it down in an ashtray on the table, and looks at you and says, "So your name is Grigori Rastaslar. Am I saying that correctly?"
Yes.
Now, Grigori, your countrymen are they're enemies of the Empire. You understand that this makes you a person of suspicion.
Understandable, yes.
Do you believe in this revolution, your people Svart, or do you not?
No. That's why I am here. It's, just away from all that. Trying to not get caught up in what would be most likely, you are countrymen, you will fight. And it's like, I just want to work and live.
All right. It says here in your official immigration papers that you came to Fostrol before the Empire was able to liberate the people here. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Sort of flips over. Says, and it says that you moved here a few months after the capture of that city of Celeste, and that you live in a workhouse. Is this also true?
Yes, me and quite a lot of people, just trying to share space, make it easy to afford rent.
Of course. Now, we did some digging on you. Your grandfather fought in the revolution. Is this correct?
I believe so, yes.
Did he not teach his son and grandson the proper messages of your revolution, or did you just not listen to them?
I was, let's see, I was probably very young when that happened. With teaching special codes or anything. I'm sure my father might know, but he might not have. If he taught me anything, I might have been too young, because as far as I know, if he did teach me something, he wasn't openly doing it. He did not want child to be caught up in things, as it were.
So, you did not respect your elders. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I always respect elder, just they might have been trying to protect me by not openly, like, this is how you fight people. Because, young, hothead, I would be getting in trouble all the time. Unfortunately, most young people are far more heated when it comes to things like that.
And your people doubly so. Now, according to the work schedule, you were not on shift when the weapons disappeared.
No, I had swapped with another worker that day to
Yes.
make up more hours on that one day.
That is interesting. Is there any reason that you wanted that particular day?
Just so the other day I could have off and relax. I'd been pulling, lot of moving boxes. Eventually, back gets sore. Needed to take a bit of a better break, give time to heal up.
I guess someone from the Republic who does not agree with its work ethic would need extra time off. Well, is there anything else I need from you?
Backhanded
I will find you.
compliment.
He's just
What's-
like,
That backhanded compliment.
he's like, if only there was nobody out there, I would tear in half and wear on way out. But I can't.
Yeah. And she points to a door behind her, not back the way you came.
Yeah. It's like, I do not have any other questions or anything. All I know is somebody. Oh, I do remember before, not too long before that, someone made stink at work. I guess he dropped something. Don't know if on purpose or not, but
Right? Do you know the name of this person?
he'll give him the name, of that guy that
Yeah.
that knocked the stuff over that he totally just used as.
Absolutely, yeah, you have that name. Says, yes, we have spoken to him already. Again, if there's anything else we need, we will find you.
Understand. Do you have Oh, never mind. You find me. I was going to ask if you had card or something. If I have information, I could get a hold of you. But that is fair.
She grabs the cigarette, takes a drag, and sort of looks at you, expecting you to leave.
And he just quietly gets up, little like low head as he makes his way out the door. She motioned to.
Sure. You head out. Okay, sorry. I just saw the brother.
Your butter.
Oh god. And Shay's returned. Is Rin on his way back?
He's right here. He's just setting something up, but
For sure. I didn't know where he was since I'm not in that building. I don't know what people do. So yeah, you leave this room, and just outside this other door, there's an armed guard who leads you out of the building.
I'll just quietly, thank him for the escort and leave.
He says nothing to you the entire time. But yeah, you're led out, and now you're just kind of standing there, just outside this building, and you can return to whatever it is you want to do.
I'll probably just go back to keep up his appearance of doing what he normally does, like on his non-day off, or on his day off, just like maybe he'll visit some shops and that, just in case he's like, just in case they're following me.
He walks back in the front door and starts working again.
Walks back in, starts moving boxes. Like clocking in now.
No, it was a different building. You were taken downtown to one of the government buildings. So you have to return back to your proper.
It's just business. I'm here to do more.
I'm here to move boxes. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Just everywhere he goes, he's moving boxes, even if he doesn't work there.
Just carry a box. Like, I move box.
This was the role he was assigned. It's for the people.
Fun fact: if you guys are ever in a place you're not legally allowed to be, and you see someone, don't hide. Say, "Hey, you! What are you doing here?" Before they can, throws them off, and you can use that time to get out of there. Act like you're supposed to be there first. It fucks people. Anyways, moving on, there is radio announcements about the escapees. Posters will go up. Selathil, you learn that the Daughters of Loth, which is which is the secret police, which they have an office here. There's not a lot of them here. The town's been pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving some extra personnel here, and when they arrive, which is only a couple of days, a train pulls in, and more personnel for this order arrive. They begin to raid homes, and more people are arrested. They're definitely cracking down. So just be aware of that as you continue forward. So as you guys, anything else I want to do?
There is, there are a couple things that that Tan's gonna do. She's first of all gonna gather the raided soldiers, just to speak with them.
Sure.
While they believe that you are not in the city, they are still searching for you. So you all have posters of yourselves. I'm going to recommend, when you have time, sometime soon, to construct a place down here that you might be able to hide yourselves when the inevitable happens. as before, while you are laying low, we will bring whatever food you need. But myself and the others need to keep up with the appearances. I still have a job to maintain, as do the others.
Quite true. Well,
Well,
I was just going to say, as long as they stay out of trouble, they are welcome to be here, and they shouldn't attract the attention.
no, they have been very, very cooperative. They're all kind of used to being stuck in one place for a long time. It's
Mhm.
not an uncommon thing as a soldier. Kind of like you're here now.
Yeah.
I'm just like okay.
These are, I do have your other task, besides constructing yourselves a place to conceal yourselves during whatever raids may happen. Familiarize yourselves with the maps and our notes of everything we have done so far.
Yeah, they've taken upon themselves to do that. They're a little stir crazy down here, just a little bit. So they found some stuff. Aelia has been studying the maps in the area. Gabriel has been sort of looking over, already been doing these things. Ligdon has been obsessively every single day has been cleaning every single piece of equipment you have.
I should see about getting a. I should see about getting a pool table or something.
Ashton says, there is deck of cards down here. We've played poker so many times. And Ligdon is an incredible liar. And so...
Have you played People's Republic style?
Ligdon laughs at that, but you see there are jars inside that has they've been using what has been around, common things like food is very common. But they have sort of a permanent tally, and Ligdon has a little jar that it's just full of little coins and little things. Turns out when you're an entirely different type of creature, no one knows when you're lying. So he's been just raking in money.
He's a wolf. You should never trust him.
Yeah, that's something he says. They begin on doing that. They'll look into sort of building a hideaway.
Yeah,
for
that'll
themselves.
and that'll keep them occupied for a little bit.
For sure. Yeah, we'll keep them busy.
Yeah, so she'll let Karzog and Jean continue their work. Also laying low, they'll meet up, again at the bar and spend a little bit of time just talking. So it's not odd seeing them together, laying the groundwork so that when I do eventually buy up this place, it's like, oh yeah, she heard about it and was interested.
Absolutely. Thinking ahead, I like it.
I am surprised with how intricate I have made this character.
No, I like that. That's really good.
And then the other thing she's going to do is just continue to work herself, and she'll probably take some extra hours to earn some extra money.
Mm-hmm.
How much would a game table be?
I would say a game table. Do you want like a pool table or what exactly?
Bumper pool. We're gonna get them bumper pool.
Bumper pool. That's a little cheaper.
Okay.
I would say for a bumper pool table. I would do $40 for a bumper pool table.
Oh, hey, I can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. You can just rob the jewelry store.
We did.
I mean, I can afford it with my own money, not.
Yeah,
Not
you
bad.
can. You can. Yeah. However you want to divvy up your money is entirely up to the
Yeah,
group.
I will do that, and I will take extra hours at the
Clinic?
the clinic too, and it's very much oh, there's this place. might be able to raise enough for it. So she's just going to be working real hard.
Sure.
And I will get that bumper table for them.
Absolutely. Okay, so as things heat up a little bit in the city, with the sort of thing of the Daughters of Loth, one day when you're all at the hideout, Gabriel sort of collects everyone. Yes.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
When this hideaway thing is done, I'm going to move any incriminating. Just be prepared to consolidate any incriminating evidence in such a hideaway.
Yes, that
With
is
the
actually
rest of
something they have done. Big Don has sort of taken up this as sort of foreman, and they have actually took out a part of the wall and have burrowed a tunnel that you can hide your weapons, you can hide any sort of intelligence you have in there and pull it out for when you need it.
Awesome.
And the wall can be placed back in, and it's pretty well done. You have to sort of know what you're looking for to find it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, they know what they're doing. They're in prison for several months. They know how to hide things. But Gabriel brings everyone together one day and says, "Oh, well, we have been stuck down here for about a week and a half. And my first question is, what is our plan from here?"
We have been gathering whatever resources we can, but our current plan is to establish a more permanent foothold. I believe we discussed an interest in buying up a business here and using it as a front.
Well, that could be very fortuitous for a long-term goal. I'm more meaning short-term. But what are we going to physically do? You have four skilled soldiers here.
I suddenly have the urge to blow up a Loth worshipping building.
I do like that idea. On that note, for resources, we have whatever money you have. We check the logbooks. We have several weapons, enough ammo to last us for now, as well as, I believe, 3 anti-tank rockets and about 6 grenades left over from the detonation of the armored vehicle.
That is good to know.
So if we wish to make... Ligdon could spend some time to make some jury-rig explosives. That is what we wish. But sitting around here, spending time not acting is good. But if we stop, people will think that you have gone away. Also, do people know who you are? Or does the group have a name?
We haven't been publicly announced just yet. If you announce yourselves to them, they'll start looking for you.
Sure.
Such an explosive entrance will definitely draw attention. And
Well, yes, but by that time we'll be loudly declaring who our rebel organization is.
Well, we could explode a billion of Loth worshippers. That is an option. But do we need more money? Do we need more weapons? Do we need more people?
All of the above.
Oh, great.
You have been our most recent recruits.
before it was just the 5 of us. Now we are 9 strong.
It used to be 3.
Well,
One more thing, Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever hear anything from your former captain.
Did I ever hear anything from my former captain?
He is currently working at the laundromat. He's working there because he's out of a job and he's just like, fuck it, I'll work there.
So we could recruit him too.
So you could talk to him and try to recruit him as well if you so wish.
Yeah, because he was definitely interested.
And Jean, I have a how do you think the rest of the workers at the laundromats feel? I know they are not happy being under the.
Well, I do not think that all of them will be super enthused to. They don't seem like the type.
Would
I don't think they would give us up, but I don't think they would pick up arms as it were.
that is a distinctive difference. If they are trustworthy enough to look the other way,
I think so. Yes.
that's perfect. I do not expect anyone to put their lives on the line where it is not necessary. Is there any, and then just like looking back to Seraphil and Grigori, who might have a better indication. Do you think there is any useful information in this Loth worshipping place?
Most likely, but it would be very dangerous to get inside.
Less
I just
dangerous.
want to ask, so I'm aware. You're referring to like the headquarters of the Daughters of Loth, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to
I just
blow it
wanted to
up.
make sure it wasn't just like a temple. Like there are temples of Loth, there would be. I just wanted to.
No. I want to blow up the Daughters of the Loth building.
Yeah. Hacking the Gestapo. Ooh.
Listen, it's fine. We're just gonna load up a car bomb and we're gonna just run somebody through the front door of the building. They're not prepared for that sort of thing yet. They don't know what domestic terrorism is, right?
Not in a modern sense, no.
Cool.
Yeah. No, this is congratulations. You're gonna birth modern terror tactics.
Listen, it's not our fault they trained us and then left us and now we've turned their tools against them.
Seraphil, did you once set a vehicle on ongoing?
Until it ran out of fuel, but didn't set it to explode or anything. It's just a simple matter of putting a brick on the pedal.
And my other question was going to be Yigdan, you can set a vehicle to explode at a certain moment.
He kind of looks at you for a second, as again, he's like has taken apart one of the rifles and is cleaned it. He looks up at you and says, "I can explode anything."
How much would we need to bring down? How big is the Daughters of Loth building?
There's
Like story-wise, because we probably don't have blueprints for physical dimensions.
for sure. It is sort of it originally was sort of the head, like the largest police station there. So it's about 3 stories, and it's quite a large building, quite a large complex, as it's not only holds like an active force there, but also like meeting room. So it's a large enough building to support an active policing force as well as the sort of administrative side of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a larger building, but yeah.
So if we are planning to make such an explosive debut, and we will have to establish our plans. But we have the two options I can think of is send a rigged vehicle straight into the center of it, or figure out where the supporting beams may be and light those up and have the entire thing collapse.
That is true.
He, Ligdon, considers for a second, being your explosive expert, and says, "We could fire rockets, but we only have 3. Or we could find TNT.
We should find the TNT. Rockets would only do superficial surface damage. We want to bring the building down.
Yes. We do not have enough gunpowder to detonate a building. Find TNT. I will rig Big Bomb.
What if we make a distraction somewhere nearby that will divert a good deal of the security forces and then detonate it? A smoke screen.
I can build Big Bomb and you distract and we blow a building.
Looking to Alia, then you are good logistically, correct?
You kind of have to be piloting a bomber, yeah?
So, and then just kind of like looking at like a local area map. Is there just in and kind of like talking both to her and to Gabriel. What, in your opinion, do you think is a good place for a diversion outside of the city?
They look at the city map for a while. And they consider the different places, like, oh, here. They want to. A few places, like there's like a hospital nearby, but like, no, it's not that hospital, that's bad. And then
no hospitals.
Only a couple blocks away from this place, which would logically be true, is City Hall and also the Parliament, the seat of the old government, which is currently used by sort of the local governor of the country. So City Hall or the Parliament building, if you shoot a couple rockets at that or you attack that briefly and then run away, would definitely bring a lot of attention. It would be dangerous. That's an option. So there's that, or you could sort of the other direction. There's an armory you know of. So attack the armory. It would also be a pretty big. It wouldn't be as large because you're not attacking the government structure, but it would bring a large amount. It would be less dangerous, but wouldn't bring as many people away to it. Because you attack an armory, that's pretty bad. You attack a government building, you have to get the people, get them out, make sure they're protected, get all the government officials out of there, get any important documents, collect those as well. So there's a larger security response needed for Parliament, but also that means more people will be coming down on your heads. Those are the two targets they think would be good distraction.
I have another idea, but that is spreading ourselves thin. What if we took the armory? If we are announcing ourselves, are we announcing ourselves to take over the city, or are we announcing ourselves to strike a blow and then head back into hiding?
Well, we are honestly still not in a position to announce ourselves publicly. I merely wanted to blow up their building.
This is true.
Also, to occupy an armory in the middle of an occupied city, was in the middle of an occupied country, in the middle of a war, and we would have to fight
It draws a
minute
lot of attention.
to fully occupy it. We would be slaughtered eventually, even if we held off long enough.
So it's possible.
We could physically take the building, yes. Could we hold the building? No.
No.
Now, hang on. Is good idea and end game to announce when we are ready. Take armory, redistribute weapons to people in city.
Oh yes, for sure.
But-
Once we have
but that is what. Yeah, that
that
is
is
like
nine quest.
that is end game for this town. Then we can, with town liberated via armory, then you could start pushing to next town and next town.
Now, this is also very important. For any conflict within city limits, we have to be very careful not to have any citizens killed.
Yes, collateral
Wow.
damage is unavoidable at some point, but should be avoided at all costs as much as possible.
And if we start showing ourselves as a victory at any cost, even at the expense of the people, they are not going to have any interest in joining us.
You're correct. We should be very careful with how we deal with things in the inner city.
There is, actually no. Alia says there is. You're focusing very heavily on the city, which makes sense. The capital city, it's important. There's also an option which I think we should probably think about is using as building support outside of the city. Smaller towns, further away, less people, less sort of military presence. If you build allies there, if things go tits up here, we're not running back to just the bar. We could run out of the city and know people who could hide us.
As she's saying that, Todd actually does pull out a larger map to see nearby cities.
I recommend a town. After my bomber was shot down, me and my team were able to rely on a few locals for a little while before things got hot and we got out of there. But
We'll need to do some reconnaissance.
yeah, we should probably do some reconnaissance. But this is the city that they're going to want to hold on to the most, so it's going to be the hardest. So we could start elsewhere, or at least build up some support outside the city. So
It's a very good idea. We get what we can here. We go outside, basically to cut off city from everything else, and then all of them can strike city at once.
We are a smaller group too, so and Tom's looking at various towns around and whatever roads are connected.
Yeah.
If we stay one step ahead of them as a smaller group, they won't be able to keep up.
Gabriel speaks up and says, Zeus has a question. Are we going to build a larger resistance, or are we going to stay small? A large
Eventually,
resistance, we could take over, we could occupy cities and keep them. Or we could be small and attack,
I think
as
what
a
we,
smaller group.
We should be working towards liberating the country, so a larger force.
I think
Sure.
what we should do is build resistance cells in all of these countries that can start spreading out themselves.
cells are what we need, but we need a way of
Yes.
communicating.
Well,
Because if
Um,
we do not have help of everybody else, we could be squashed very easily if the surrounding countries have no aid. So we should work to foster things there to help them out, so they in turn would help us out when time comes.
Salazar,
Mhm.
what was your unit called?
The Hydras.
yeah, do this. As you
What?
say Hydras, Gabriel looks at you and is visibly impressed. If I'm not Yeah, your units, you're sort of behind enemy lines kind of unit, right? That was you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he got to make eye contact with you, and is visibly impressed. That is some elite commando shit.
Even the commandos couldn't turn back the tide that was this war, though.
Well, we do not have a lot of support outside Foster.
They have spread their forces thinner since they have been occupying.
Ligdan speaks up. Says, they have not taken more land in months.
Also, they have finally held up and started to reinforce.
Also, for full clarification, 51st Regiment Mechanized Cavalry was what she was. And yes, they were behind lines assault team.
I'm trying to think of a good rallying cry. It incorporates your formerly dead Hydra into something new, reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Something that
Kill
might
Hydra, of course.
Not helping you with this. You guys, this is all you.
When one head is removed, two come back. You can never defeat us.
I was
That seemed a little long.
I was good with Hail Hydra.
Yep. Have you say fake Nazi names? Great.
Grigori's like looking at the map. If we could break something between here and my home country, maybe people there might see that and be motivated to push harder, which would cause them to start going down there to reinforce.
That is an interesting idea. What represents your people?
Who?
Your unit?
Our land, our people, just all of us. The motherland.
But did you have a unit with a call sign?
Oh no, it was just me and a group of friends that grew up in school. Blew up so many toys of theirs.
For reference, Grigori was a guerrilla fighter who just picked up his an old rifle. He wasn't part of the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first things first. We need TNT to prepare. We need.
Ligdan, thumbs up.
We need money to secure a stronger base of operations, and we need reconnaissance in nearby towns. What was the one that Alia recommended? Which town was that?
She didn't recommend the town. She said that some people had helped her, but she points out on the map. What you learn is that she was her sort of air wing was loaned out to the Cognate. She's in the Majocracy, is the Mazarin Majocracy, which is in the south, and she was loaned out as sort of as expeditionary force to the Cognate, and she was shot down up here in the north, quite far away.
But she mentioned
Town.
that someone had helped her.
Yes, way up here, way up in the north of the country, away from you guys, quite far away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, what is the closest village and or villages?
Sure, give me a second. Get names for those.
Because in this the city that we're in is just capital of Frostral.
The city you're in is Sarest. C-E-R-E-S-T, Cerest. Ah. Some local towns. The closest one to you is Drogari, which is nearby. There's Glogno. There's a but do you want one that's like one town over? Do you want a couple that are a couple towns over?
Whatever's kind of in the immediate area, because this is going to be just for reconnaissance to try and figure out who is how the citizens are doing, if they're who's not, like what kind of people aren't happy there, and potentially sympathetic and or recruits. What the military presence is in those places, and any kind of like logistical information, anything like that.
Sure. The closest towns. Excuse me. There's Drogari, Klogno, and Carmel are sort of the closest towns, villages, I should say. Carmel is a little bit bigger, probably closer to a town than a village, but
Alright. Jogari, Klogno, and Caramel.
Carmel. I will post those.
Caramel.
Carmel, technically.
Yeah.
Nope, this is not what I want. That is not. Where is this? Sorry, found it. And it didn't. I just realized I deleted those names off my list, so you've written down. Anyways,
I have
those-
Jogari,
thank
Joga.
I thought I copied them, and apparently I pressed backspace because my brain is a nightmare. Anyways,
no idea.
So those are the three closest towns you can go and look at, for sure.
All right.
And again, you don't have to do everything yourself. You can send the others to do stuff.
Yep,
for
I
you.
was about to ask them, how confident are you, and this is primarily to our officer, how confident are you, and how many people would you need to do some reconnaissance on these places?
If I could take, Jean-Pierre and Ashlyn are sort of the less noticeable of all of us, despite yourselves. We could take them. I could look into one of the towns.
Alright. Let's see. Do we have anything that Alia or Lipton can do?
Ligdan, Ali's a little bit. Again, she's a bomber pilot, so there's not a lot of stuff she can do. She knows how to shoot a gun, stuff like that, but she's not exactly not her forte.
Mm-hmm.
And Ligdan, again, you get him TNT, and he will build you a big bomb.
Yeah, it's just they said that everybody was getting stir crazy, so I was trying to think of something to keep them occupied.
Gabriel suggests I will take a small team to look at these cities, and you can look into where to find some explosives.
Of course.
TNT is often used in mining operations.
Good idea.
Also, if you find any valuables that you do not, let's just say were not acquired legitimately, we know somebody who can fix.
Oh, fantastic!
This is true. We are developing contacts. Alright. I will we will continue here. Being away for too long might end up being a bit suspicious for us. Uh, Looking at the map, do I see any mines nearby?
Not a lot of mines. Some quarries. Quarries don't. There's not a lot of blasting in quarries.
Any construction going on in the city? Deconstruction.
Ooh, that's smart. There's nothing on your map. But you can probably ask around, look around the city to find probably maybe some demolition.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, living in the city. If we hear about any, that's going to be what Tom will focus on as she's continuing to take extra shifts. She'll keep an ear out for any. She may get patients who accidentally shot a nail through their hand for some reason.
Absolutely. The main team, the three of them, Ren, you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. The main teams will look in the town for dynamite, some explosives. That's sort of their job, is to look for some explosives. The other team, led by Gabriel, will do some reconnaissance and some hearts and minds stuff in a smaller town. We've been playing for about an hour and a half, so we'll take a quick break, get some water, and then we'll be back for a little bit longer. I think we might cut a little bit short for our good friends Shay and Ren, since they're
We have an early day tomorrow again, so
for sure. Yeah, we'll go for our usual time.
Sounds
all right,
good.
Back.
I'm gonna put up the be right back screen. Whoops. Why is that?
Bye.
I put up the things from the flood screen. Why did it do that? Let's just go ahead and delete that. I'll also move that one down. That's so weird.
Are we away or?
Yes, we are. We're away.
Excellent. Beautiful. So yeah, I'm moving right back. I need to get some water. I'm very thirsty. Yeah. We'll after we come back, probably half an hour more just to get sort of the end of what you guys are doing, so you guys can start thinking about what to do next week. Anyways,
Yeah.
be right back.
Bum bum bum.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hi.
How much were you looking to spend?
No more than 2,000.
Just has they're like it's like less than a part. This one I think is a combination, but it's only got 2.5 stars.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that was your mom and Jim kept really talking about how those had really low ratings.
And let's see. Like, I'm okay with like the front load stacked ones, but I do not like where it has that like slant thingy
The
there.
front loads are fine. I'm good with that. With what? All the way down. What about that one right there? Second one? All the way down. Second, yeah. Yeah, combination.
Samsung, like, not Samsung, but that's cool.
Oh, Samsung, disregard.
Let's see. That's an interesting. I wonder how much space it has though.
I mean, it looks like it goes all the way down.
Well, I mean, because this looks like it's one thing, and then up here it looks like it's one thing.
That's probably all one thing.
What's up?
Is your mic still on?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Y'all ever heard of War Chief Joe Crow?
Can't say that I have.
He's the last surviving First Nations war chief.
Whoa.
He earned the war chief status in World War II. And to become a war chief, you have to do 3 things. You have to take an enemy's weapon, touch the enemy without killing him, and steal their horses. Also, the four things. He was the lead a war band. And he did all those. He beat up a Nazi soldier in the middle of a battle and took his gun.
Yes.
He stole a bunch of horses from the SS. And apparently, while doing that, when he was riding away, he was singing war songs. And he was eventually made an officer, and he led a successful raid. And so he was made a war chief of the Crow Nation. So, yeah. He also go into battle in full paint. He would paint himself before every battle.
Oh God.
He's a really interesting dude. He's apparently written multiple books. Yeah. He died 4 years ago. That's sad.
I just like that there's a long list. There's just very specific list of requirements, and he's like, and I'm gonna make all of them.
And he did all. I think what would have happened is he did 2 of them. He's like, oh, I can do this, and so he found a Nazi, kicked the shit out of him, and took his gun. Like, I did it. Hey, Ren. So, just so we're all aware, we're gonna do some rolls, get some stuff, do a couple any sort of talking you want to do. So we won't do anything big quite yet. But hello everyone, welcome back. So first thing is first. Gabriel takes Ashlyn and Jean-Pierre excuse me, Ashlyn and Gabriel, excuse me again, they both dye their hair. Gabriel does not wear his glasses, and they sort of kind of dress up sort of like very, very casually, and to sort of make their way to, I'll say Carmel, sort of one of the closer towns, to start doing their stuff. They leave. You don't hear of any arrests, so that's good. The rest of you, I would like one of you to roll a notice check with a +2, so that people are helping you.
Yeah.
What check did you say?
Notice.
Notice.
Yeah.
Mine's a D8, and I already have a +2 from my one thing, so let's make it a 4.
That will. Fuck.
And it's still a 7.
Still 7. Well, 1d8 +2. Didn't add the other +2 though. So that's not a 7. That's a 9. So that's a raise. Fuck. Anyways, sure. Going through town, all 3 of you, sort of trying to find some places. Zelathil, you're sort of able to get like a list of different sort of construction sites within the area, and you're able to find one place that has an older building that they're deciding to tear down and build a new one over. And they are close to. They don't have dynamite there yet, sort of any sort of demolition equipment there yet. They're still clearing it out. But if you keep an eye on it over the next couple of weeks, whenever they finish gutting it and getting all the glass out, getting all the stuff out of it, just like the shell, they're going to have explosives there.
So it's a good place to bark down.
So, there's that location. Is there anything else you guys want to? Anything you guys are sort of on your mental checklist for this session?
How much money do I make working extra shifts?
Right. Actually, yeah. Let's actually do that. You guys have been
Yeah, we need to
You've
go
been-
work to get that laundromat.
well.
Mhm.
Also, Grigori would have definitely told them about the questions being asked, like him and all the people on his ship getting pulled aside.
So yeah, we'll do pay because you all will make money. It's not terrible, not a lot of money. I will say, since Tan, you've worked a bunch of extra shifts, you can try to do that. I'll say you make them for sort of your month $20.
Hey.
$20, yeah. Bogori, you make 10 since you're a day laborer. And Selathil, since you're since you're sort of a little more integral to sort of the power structure here, and they kind of want to keep the law enforcement on their side, I'll say you've made $25.
Ooh.
You're paid decently because they want to keep you like happy.
I hear there's a captain position that opened up too.
Well, no, that was filled already
Wow.
by a drow. There was a drow.
Of course there was. Of course there
There
was.
was a drow operation, another stabbing a lady while she's.
I mean,
still.
yeah, stabbing a Nazi cop. I will
Listen,
have, I
it
will
can
have no
happen.
compunction. I will have no compunctions. So yeah, you guys work. You guys keep an eye on that. Like, all right, I think this will work. And as you're sort of begin to wait, sort of waiting for any news back from your friends, but Tan, one day when you're at work, it's lunch, and you just happen to decide, like, let's just go for a bit of a sort of get out of the clinic for a while, just to get some fresh air. And as you're walking, you hear someone say your name. You hear them off to your side. There's a small cafe there, but you hear someone say your name as you walk past.
As I'm walking, I'll glance in that direction.
Sure, yeah, you see that woman again.
The one who came by the clinic.
Yep.
What is she? Is she sitting at a table?
She's at a table. She appears to be sitting on the lawn. She appears to have some food in front of her, and is drinking a cup of coffee. And she did not sound aggressive. She sounded quite friendly, actually.
Oh, well, yeah, then I pause and I smile and I say, good afternoon.
You as well. And I assume that you are currently on your break from the clinic.
For about another 15 minutes, yes.
Well, why not you spend it here? The coffee is fantastic. I insist.
I will not turn it down.
So yeah, you go sit down. She's definitely not currently. Doesn't look. Whenever you've seen her, which is the one time, she was dressed very efficiently, very very officially. She's not right now. She appears sort of, well, still like very severe kind of authority sort of style of dress. She's not wearing the coat with the medals. She doesn't have her cap with her. She sit down. She orders you a cup of coffee, and she says, "So, I have always been a part of the military. Do you enjoy your work as a doctor, nurse? I never
Very much
spoke to a
so.
lot of your.
Very much so. I could never lift a gun like a soldier or an officer like yourself.
People.
However,
Yes.
however, I do find a bit of fulfillment in mending broken bones and stitching torn flesh.
Yes. It is my job to cut them up. It is your job to put them back together. People have always said that shooting another person is hard. It is not as hard as people say it is.
You do not think so?
I don't think so, no. Perhaps it is the softness of you surfacers.
Perhaps. I suppose that is why there is a bit of a change, as it were.
You were unprepared. There was a time in our history where your people were tough as old leather, as strong as iron. You've conquered the world. And you forced it into a state where you were able to grow comfortable. The Drow never had this opportunity. The Underdark is full of creatures, things in the deep parts of the world.
So it is the surface has grown complacent and allowed a stronger hand to move in.
That is the prevailing theory of why we are able to conquer so much. Although you do still have dragons, I hear. There is not many below the surface.
I've heard of them, yes. Do you find interest in dragons?
I've never seen one personally. At least not up close. There have been drawings and pictures, and they seem powerful. I would like to see one up close eventually. Yes.
Powerful and intelligent.
Yes, they are noted for being master practitioners, and few of them a little more tricky, as it were. You know, I've realized something. I invited you to have a cup of coffee with me. I've asked you about your job. I have not introduced myself. I am sorry.
Oh, I suppose I got a bit lost in your words. You have a very strong air. I suppose you already know I am Tangier.
Yes. I read a file on you. Not a very large one. Just sort of the official labor papers. Nothing. Don't worry, you're not on any list.
I do not expect to be.
Gelniza. She extends her hand.
I extend mine as well. It is a pleasure to meet you, Gelniza. Let's see. Oh, thank you.
Gelniza comment.
And you spoke a little bit about it. Do you enjoy your work? As I do mine.
I find it rewarding to track the enemies of the Empire. I saw no action on the surface. All my fighting was below.
Who are you fighting? Was it these monsters you mentioned?
No, not every drow had the same vision. We made sure they did.
You mean,
Changed their mind.
You mean a civil war?
Yes. You are not to be aware of our history. Yes, there are many democracies in the Underdark for a time. They were ruled by weak men. We sought solace in the old ways. And our matriarch led us to glorious victory. We united the Underdark under one rule, and we sought to secure our future here.
my understanding of and you will have to forgive me. I would hope, but my understanding of your culture is a bit limited. Are you part of this house? That the matriarch has led you to unification?
We are united under her one house. Yes. All Drow are a member of her house. There is no longer any squabbling nobles or elected officials. There is our matriarch.
And this civil war, you were in it.
I was a soldier on the front lines.
You must have many scars.
I have a few, yes. My job to cut them up, your job to put them back together.
I suppose so, for one softness for me. As I said, it is, I cannot imagine, I cannot imagine being a soldier like you.
It is intense, but glorious.
Will you, could you, tell me more sometime, about your people? Now that you are here, and as part of as the new hand of the kingdom, I suppose.
If you're interested in governmental histories, I'd be willing to have another conversation, of course.
Certainly.
She reaches into her coat, and as she does, she kind of pushes it over, and you see that she is still armed.
Mm-hmm.
She has a shoulder holster, but she leads into a pocket and pulls out a stopwatch and checks it and says, "Well, I do not want to keep you too long from your office. Your break is almost over."
Oh, I better hurry then. Thank you for the coffee.
Of course, it's nice to get to know my fellow citizens. Yes.
And you as well, Ganisa. Miss Kemet.
Kind of nods, and then as you leave, she lights a cigarette and sort of just sits down, and Kevin enjoys herself.
Tom kind of smiles, glances back as she leaves.
You've made a new friend. Congratulations.
I have.
Um,
It'll be a shame when she kills me.
shame when she kills you. So yeah, you return to the clinic. Just because of my curiosity, what is going through Tan's head as you had this very strange interaction with this woman?
Why are the evil ones hot? And is she going to kill me, or am I going? No, I'm actually. She's got a whole bunch of thoughts going on.
Sure.
But I think part of her thinks that she can learn a lot she can learn a lot from her.
Mhm.
But as before.
So you return to your to your job. Grigori, we're going to cut briefly over to you. We'll go until the half-hour mark. Just a couple more things. Half-hour mark at the latest. So Grigori, as you're at work, as you finish up, you see one of your coworkers comes up to you as you've been sort of talking to everyone about like, oh, the question that was scary and weird. And one of them is a dwarf comes up to you and goes, "Hey, you there, Dragonborn?"
Hello there.
And he sort of like kind of looks around, kind of like pulls you off to the side, says, so me and the other lads are talking about some things, and I think I'm taking a bit of chance here, friend. Look, the old kingdom, you know, it didn't do so good. You look south at like the Republic, like your home. It's still fighting, right?
As far as I know of, yes.
Right. So me and the other boys, you know, you hear about, you know, the workers and sort of how they fought back, things like that, you know. Do you know much like about that, or is it just you know, me and the boy, we're considering like the old system failed, this new one isn't doing better. Know what I'm saying? You know, trying to get out of here.
Well, I think I know
Insight
what
check.
It's like, what do I roll for insight?
Roll notice. Roll notice. It's not really an insight. That's a 4. He's the communists, which you are of one, are definitely enemies of the Empire. So he's trying to like hint like, hey, we want to be communists. But they don't really know a lot of like stuff about it, and they're like, he's from there, he might know. He's trying to like gauge your interest.
Well, it's not something you would, you know, openly speak about, because...
Yeah, of course.
He's like, but I do have this, and he's going to reach into his coat where he's probably had a lot of these. It's like a little booklet, and it just says, so you want to join the Communist Party?
You hand out some literature.
Yep. Yeah, read, have friends read. If you want to talk more, we can find time and tell you about what goes on in Homeland.
He takes it and says, thank you, and kind of shakes her hand and disappears. Rin is actively falling asleep, so I'll just say that Sailafil, your old boss, Rin, your old boss does show up at the bar one day, and asks for you. But you are actively falling asleep as I speak, so we're going to end it there, and we'll have that scene next week.
Alrighty.
Right as Grigori slips a pamphlet. You hold up the Communist Party.
Yeah. How does it
Welcome
become
to Communist Party.
Yeah.
Manifestos NU.
Oh, that's a great name.
Land and Bread Brothers. Come
Land
now.
and Bread.
You get to wear red. It is great. Just like
Red's great.
Grigori.
Anyway, so yeah, that is where
That's
we're going
us.
to end the session. I'm going to let Rin and Shay rest and sleep. Frost, I don't know what you're going to do, but I assume pretty similar.
Frost sleep.
Try. Hope you're going to try, at least. But,
I've got to do, like, clean the whole house. Okay.
okay. You do what you need
Hey,
to do.
so do we.
Yeah.
Clean the
But-
whole house, build the
I have
whole
to.
house.
I have to clean my house, too. There's a thing happening in a couple weeks. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's been lovely. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
And it's going to advocate